Okay, so I have to admit, I was wrong about Destiny 2 Lightfall. But can you really blame me for being wrong about an expansion, considering how the Witch Queen was so good? Last expansion, the Witch Queen. Narratively, perfecto. There was nothing wrong with it. Don't know what happened here. They fumbled insanely hard with this expansion. I was wrong. I am sorry. I am sorry that I hyped everyone up, but the marketing team for this game is just so good. It's just like, shut up and take my money. And that's how they get you. That's how Bungie gets you. That's how they always get you. And that's gonna be the way it is. Whether it's good or not, you're probably gonna pay for it. This video is gonna be split up into many separate parts that all go into depth about the different factors of Lightfall. You know, things like the story, Strand, the new mod 3.0 system, 2.0 system, whatever. So that's how this video is going to be structured. Destiny 2 Lightfall's campaign is probably one of the biggest offenders when it comes to this whole expansion. It's terrible. Like, that's my opinion. It's awful. And it really, like, sucks to say that, because Witch Queen was perfect narratively. It had very good characters, such as Sabathun, was an amazing character, great voice actor and everything. And this time, it had the potential. They had great characters with it, they just didn't do anything with it. And at the beginning, the Witness can, like, do all these things, it slices up this guy's ghost. I don't know how it did that, but hey, you know. And they introduce the Veil. This is probably one of the biggest issues I've heard people talk about with this campaign, is the idea of the Veil, and what is the Veil, and how all the campaign really did was basically make more unanswered questions rather than just answering questions that we were hoping to have answers to. Oh my gosh, Bungie, stop being so vague. And the nail in the coffin for me is that they raised the price of this expansion. Why? Why'd you do that? I don't understand the thought process behind raising the price for something that is arguably worse than what we had last time. It does not make sense at all. It was a bad call to raise the price of this expansion. But, you know, the story, it's like I said, not very good. It kicks off with a pretty decent cutscene. It starts off very good. The campaign starts off decently well. And it's all because I have the hiccups. Oh my gosh. It's all because of the cutscenes and just how good, like, the animators are, and, you know, the art design, all that kind of stuff. I heard a lot of people saying how Callus looks goofy. Personally, I think Callus looked pretty cool, but that's just my opinion. And the story, it just seems like we've gone back to Beyond Light. Like, all the way back, like, story-wise. There's barely any puzzles, or, like, unique mechanics, really, except for there's, like, a couple of them. And it's just, it's so vague about everything. It's just this chase for a MacGuffin, and a bunch of keywords thrown around that we have no idea are. So it's just, the whole thing just felt pointless and rushed, which sucks. The next thing I wanted to talk about is Neomuna, the new social space, the new destination, brand new, fresh out of the oven, and unfortunately, it feels half-baked. A lot of the things that, like, you look at for some reason on Neomuna look like they're missing, like, textures. And it's really weird. I was expecting it to be this cool, like, cyberpunk city, but in reality, it's just another generic social space. Like, yeah, it's different. It's got some cool places. I will admit, the Polka Pond or whatever it's called, it's really cool. And it's nice to know where, you know, that weird fish thing came from, you know, that the Exo Stranger had in Beyond Light. And we finally know that place is cool, and how there's like these, like, cyberpunk-esque, like, holographic, like, trees, and these weird coral reef things, but that's about it. it's bland. And I don't understand. Usually Bungie, when it comes to these destinations, is very good at creating a new social space. Skyboxes are awesome. Art direct, awesome. Just amazing. But the actual social space you can spend time in itself is not good. It really sucks to say that. It's bad. I don't know what happened here. It feels half-baked, and it just, again, it feels rushed. So far, this video has been shrouded in negativity. But that's not to say that there aren't good things in Destiny 2 Lightfall. There are absolutely good things. And the first good thing I wanted to talk about that came with Lightfall is the enemies. The new Shadow Legion enemies are great. It's nice to see a little bit of new, tactics. When you kill them, they have these suppression devices that come off their backs, and they can take away some abilities and some of your super energy. That's cool. Please give me more of that. More enemy variety is ultimately what spices up the gameplay more. Last time it was the Lucent Brood, and I think it got better this time around than the Lucent Brood. And of course, the biggest new enemy type we got was the Tormentors. The Tormentors are cool. I love these guys. They are amazing. Whoever at Bungie thought of the idea of a Tormentor, give them a raise, because they are cool. They are extremely unique to fight. Their different attacks are cool. They force you to have this different play style because they can grab onto you and like drain your light and kill you. They're insanely cool. And of course, it's time to talk about my favorite thing by far that came with Lightfall. The only redeeming quality to me was Strand. Strand is a great idea, and it definitely shows that it was cut from Witch Queen. It just almost seems more fitting to have been with Witch Queen, but it didn't. And I just want to throw a little bit of a conspiracy theory out at you. So back in Beyond Light, when we got Stasis, the story was not good, and this time around we got Strand, a new subclass, and the story, it almost feels like the story suffers as a result of a new subclass. It feels like they spend all their time and effort putting into a new subclass. They don't spend any effort into the actual story itself, which, is probably why Witch Queen turned out to be so good, is because they weren't focused on a brand new subclass. They were focused entirely on the story. And, that's just a little bit of a tangent, like a conspiracy theory, but actually talking about Strand, it's incredible. It's super fun to be grappling around the city, and, you get these little snippets of it. It comes and goes, that Strand does, and it's just incredibly unique. If I had to, rank them like 1 to 3, I'd say my least favorite is probably Threadrunner Hunter. My second favorite is probably Titan Berserker, and my favorite is probably the Warlock. Not because it's that cool, because it's really good. It's actually the best out of all three of them, in my opinion. The Threadlings are amazing, but I think it definitely needs a bit more work to it, obviously. It's not all great. Just like Stasis, this one came with IMO, the exact opposite problem than with Stasis. When Stasis dropped, it was insanely overpowered in the Crucible, and it was almost unbearable. But with Strand, I feel that Strand is very underpowered in the Crucible. And that's just my take. I don't think Strand is that good in the Crucible, because I fought against it, and it doesn't seem that effective. Compared to something like Stasis on day one, where you would just be frozen and you'd be dead. And you don't even have time. But they definitely played it better with the suspension, and I think it's a bit underpowered. Especially in PvE. There is no reason why those charge times should be that long. I just think the core concept and execution of the actual gameplay of Strand is good, but the cooldowns are awful. The amount of time it takes to get off one grapple is insane. I think it's like a minute or so just to grapple once. So you better be playing Hunter if you enjoy grappling. Now, as for the changes to mods, I feel it's very mid to me. I get why it's there, and I do appreciate that they're trying to make things more simpler for newer players. That's great. More of that. But I feel like in doing so, they kind of made the depth that was there for build crafting kind of disappear. You see, the perfect amount of depth is that on its surface level, something should be accessible. But if you want to go into it and go in depth into it, you should be there. The mod system just doesn't have that. There is no going into it. It's completely oversimplified, and I just don't know what to say on it. My builds have always been very simple, but I do understand the frustration from the community because they have oversimplified build crafting. And as far as Guardian ranks go, it exists. It's a thing that exists. Moving on. So this is the part of the video where I want to throw even more conspiracy theories at you about why this was the way it was. The number one thing that a lot of people have been saying is because basically Lightfall and Final Shape were the same expansion, and they had to split them in half, and that is basically the main justification on why the story is so bad. I don't know, maybe. I still think it's my theory that I had earlier. They just focus way too much on the subclasses and need to, be more organized with how they... Okay, never mind. I'm not a game dev, I don't know. I'm not a game developer, I'm not gonna act like I am or like I know anything about developing a video game, because I don't. But, yeah. It's, state of the game, it's not doing so well. Steam had some pretty good, numbers on there, but as far as, why this happened, maybe something went on behind the scenes, I don't know, but, yeah, that's about it. So in conclusion, yeah, I was disappointed, but it's not all bad, and I just want to say, do not harass anybody who actually enjoys this thing. It's fine. Do not harass any of the employees of Bungie. I know, I'm frustrated with the people over at Bungie that worked on this, but there is no reason to go out of your way to harass these people. These game devs are people. They spent hours, days, months, weeks, years, whatever, building a video game for us, and we should not return the favor. We should return the favor with constructive criticism instead of just being like, oh yeah, you suck because you did something that I don't like. No, that's not what we should do at all. But, if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I might even actually, you know what? 5 out of 10. I lowered my rating to a 5 out of 10. But this is part of the video where I'm saying that right now I'm gonna take a break from YouTube for about a month. I'll probably be back next month, obviously. And the reason, my justification for this is because I'm still in school right now, so I'm gonna be working on some of my schoolwork and just focusing on that. Because I feel like making videos, and there's been so many videos I've scrapped. I'm not saying this is a hard job, but it's frustrating, man. I have had so many videos that I've had, they're pretty good ideas, and I just scrap them. And I have a lot of technical limitations right now. I still need money for a PC, so I'm trying to get some money for an actual gaming PC instead of just, a laptop, like a gaming laptop, so I can just have more stuff. I'll probably still upload on the laptop, but I need the game, because, so, here's the tear. I didn't actually play this expansion on PC like I normally do, or mouse and keyboard. This time around, I played it on PlayStation because my laptop just couldn't take it. It would not, like, actually, you know, it didn't have enough space to actually upload it, and I was going through and deleting it. Nah. And I can't really delete that much because this is all the stuff that I have for YouTube and everything. So I had to go over to my PlayStation and play it, and that stinks. But anyway, I remember I promised you guys that I was going to be posting a playthrough, like a part 1, part 2. I am sorry, I did not do that, and there's a very good reason. And that reason is because of the PlayStation problem. Streaming on PlayStation is impossible where I live, and I couldn't do it on my laptop because, you know, not enough space. But live streaming on YouTube or on my PlayStation is incredibly difficult because of my internet is very bad. And yeah, but this is that's my reason why I did not. I really wanted to, but I just couldn't. And there's just been a lot of stuff going on right now in my life. And this is probably gonna be my last video for a while. Like I said, I'm going on a break. But thanks for everyone that subscribed to my channel. I know I only have 140 some subscribers. I don't care. My last video on Lightfall was an instant hit. And that to me is just great. I hope one day I can be monetized on YouTube. Probably won't happen, but hopefully a lot of people actually see this video because I've worked pretty hard on this. But I'm signing out. I'll see you guys in a while. Bye.